What's up? What's up? What's up? This is you listen to Jake and Chad in the evening. This is episode 3. I'm Chad,
and I'm not Jake.
That's right. He is not Jake. So tonight we have a bit of a change.
Jake was sick, so my name's Britt.
My usual partner in crime, Jake. He's out of commission. Jake, if you're out there listening, hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Hope you're feeling better, Jake. He looked rough at practice.
He did.
Come back better tomorrow.
Yeah. This is Brittle Shortell. How you doing, Brittle?
I'm good, very excited to be on the show. I've always, ever since the first episode, definitely looked forward to, asking to come on here and talking about some stuff with my main man, Chad.
Good yard. Good stuff.
Good yard.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Bradley for that one, if you're listening. So, got a lot to talk about tonight. I think we're going to start off talking about a little baseball.
Oh, let's go for it, Chad. I don't know much about baseball. I unfortunately do not watch baseball enough to be well read on the subject. But Chad, I know you know a lot about baseball.
I love baseball. I like to think I think I know a decent amount, but I love baseball.
You know more than me, so you're already up 1-0.
There we go. So
I think we found one article or one shocking bit of news about baseball that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Why don't you lead us off?
Starling Marte suspended for 80 games. Pirates outfielder suspended for 80 games for PEDs.
That's a big no-no.
I can't be doing that. You just can't be doing that in today's leagues. No PEDs for anybody.
There's no place for it. I'm surprised. I was watching the game last night, Cardinals and Pirates, and Starling Marte was in. This came how long ago?
ESPN broke the story 5 hours ago. That's my trusty news source for
I'm right there with
sports.
You. Here we go. According on my ESPN app on my Samsung Galaxy tab, on the Pirates homepage, Pirates outfielder Starling Marte was suspended 80 games after testing positive for PEDs. Last year, Marte became one of 4 outfielders to bat .300, steal 40 bases in a season since 2010, and he was the first Pirate to do so since, this is quite ironic, first Pirate to do so since Barry Bonds in 1990.
Ironic. Barry Bonds.
Wow.
Also known for using PEDs.
That is quite a turn.
Crushing home runs.
That is quite a turn. Barry Bonds back in his days with the Pirates, he was good then too.
He was good. Yeah, he's always good. Barry Bonds was always a solid.
There's no doubt that he was good,
player.
but the roids definitely.
The roids.
PEDs.
Barry Bonds came back looking huge one season. That's when people should have known something was up.
I mean, if you just look at pictures of him then, the pictures of him now,
it's ridiculous.
Back in his days with the Giants,
it's so different.
He's a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he got it doesn't look like he just worked out and got there. I mean, it's substantial.
Noticeable.
It's a very substantial
really
difference.
Noticeable. And I've seen that because I watch a lot of, I don't know about the audience out there, but I watch a lot of mixed martial arts.
I'm sure it's very prevalent in that, isn't it?
And you can see they implemented the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency actually into their organization. And so what they do now is they have to hold tests for fighters, and you can see how many people get tested at certain points. And so before that and after that, you can just see the difference of so many people. Some people would just be huge and just shredded jacked, and now they're water weight. It's a little weird,
It's quite a stark contrast.
Oh, for sure.
PEDs
and sports, man. It's getting crazy.
What would that's a good question, because you definitely have the edge on me in terms of MMA.
Oh yeah, I do watch a lot of MMA.
You have me beat on that one. I watch a little bit of it. I'll come watch it with you guys, and I pay attention here and there, but I don't really focus on it too much. What's the typical protocol if a guy gets suspensions? Bans?
Normally, the way it works out is it'll go per what state athletic commission they're running in. So it's kind of a case-by-case basis, but I'll just use the Nevada State Athletic Commission, for example. So the most recent ban, it wasn't really a PED ban, but it was somewhat of a PED ban. So they banned IVs for fighters rehydrating after making a weight cut. So obviously, if people don't know what I'm talking about, fighters will cut weight to a certain weight. It's a lot like wrestling. It depends on what weight they fight in.
In the weight classes.
There's a bunch of different weight classes, and so some people will try and make a really, really steep cut so they can just yam on people, basically.
Yeah, so you can go
But
against people
the
class.
UFC, which is Ultimate Fighting Championship, made it so that fighters can't rehydrate with IVs after. It's not allowed anymore, and a lot of people are starting to fall off the rails because of it. And people, the main protocol is you get banned. Like they'll
Is it a
suspend
life
you.
ban or a 6-month ban or a year?
The you can get banned for life for PEDs, and refusing to take their tests normally results in a life ban. I know it happened with one fighter who's from Brazil, got banned for life because he didn't know that he was being tested. Like he just didn't know, they didn't like communicate to him that they were going to test him. So they like sprung it on him, and he was like, no, I'm good, and they banned him for life. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
But if you get popped with PEDs, it's like could be a year, could be 2 years. It depends on what it is, but it's definitely a case by case basis and something like that.
Interesting.
Definitely interesting.
You said it goes based off state to state.
Yeah,
as well.
state to state too. Like something that could fly in like a New York or like a Florida would not fly like in Nevada or California. It's really odd. It's kind of weird.
Really? Oh,
Someone's here. Who's here?
oh,
It's Slade.
we have
Some visitors.
we've got some visitors, some I guess potential guests
Nah, they don't.
to the show.
Oh God, it's Michael.
Michael, Sexy Legend Herman, and Slade Trey Dumas are outside.
You can
And
call in
they-
here.
You guys go ahead and call in.
If they want, they can call in.
If you got, by the way, we are taking call-ins. Hello,
We are
Slade.
taking
I see you
call-ins.
out there.
You can either
you
call
can go ahead.
me.
I know you're listening, so you can go ahead and call in. You can call my phone or Britt's phone. We'll take questions over text message and
anything.
Snapchat,
Facebook.
Messenger.
Anything. Ask us stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are here.
Once
for the
again, that
long
would be
haul.
my phone number and Britt's phone number. So, Mike, you can go ahead and call me.
Yeah, Mike, you can call in. Yeah, call in. See.
Oops, sorry about that.
Let's see what's popping with Mike.
Yeah.
Um,
We had Mike on the show last week.
Michael Herman. What a guy. What a Russian sleeper agent that kid is.
Oh,
It's a strange case.
it's very. It is an
think-
interesting case. Slade better watch out.
Oh yeah, I think that brings us to PEDs in tennis. I know Jake has had some strong opinions.
He
on
has.
here.
We revisited this
strong,
topic last
controversial
week, and it just seems to keep popping up. Whether it be in baseball or now, got some knowledge about it on MMA.
So yeah,
But
tennis. I just
we're
like
being tennis players. This is a big topic for us, especially with by far, Jake throwing the GOAT under the bus. It seems.
Well, it depends. I think.
What do you think? Is Fed juicing?
I personally don't.
This resurgence that we're seeing.
think so.
I don't.
I just think he had like that enough time off. Enough time off for anyone. Like,
well, he was smart.
be beneficial.
I think he was being smart. Oh, we have our first caller.
Michael Herman.
Here we go. Michael Herman's calling in.
Michael Herman's calling in, guys.
All right, stand by. Michael Herman, you are live on the show. How you doing?
What up, roommate?
I'm doing well. I have one question for Chad.
Oh, for Chad.
What's
All
the
right,
question?
Bet.
Without Starling Marte, did the Pirates have any chance of making the playoffs this year?
Oh, definitely.
I'd say so. And I don't watch baseball.
I still think they have a chance of making the playoffs. Oh, well, let's see. Actually, that's tricky. Look at no. I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking about it now, seeing as they are in the NL Central, which has the Cubbies, the Cardinals. That's a good question. It's going to be a lot harder. After that makes them even more of a dark horse now.
And
What do you think, Britt?
well, the Pirates did just beat the Cubs. I mean, I don't watch baseball enough to really
what
have an
did they-
opinion. They did just beat the Cubs 6-1. So,
When?
that would be Sunday, April 16th. 2 days ago.
Okay,
They
I
won.
was going to say I know it wasn't last night, but yeah.
No, it
okay.
was not last night. It was a couple days
No,
ago.
that's right. Oh, I did see something about that. There's a lot of crazy games this weekend, by the way. Mike, I don't know if you saw any of those, but my Marlins had a huge walk-off on Sunday. JT Riddle, the rookie, hit a walk-off homer. But anyway, back to your question.
Yeah.
You raised a very good question there. It is definitely
Question,
it's going to be a lot harder for them now without Marte.
Because I have them making the playoffs as the second wild card, and now that's kind of like out the window.
They are very much a dark horse now, if anything.
Dark horse. You gotta watch out for those dark horses.
Thank
You never know.
Thank you for your answer, and you guys are doing a great job. So just keep it up.
Thanks, Dad.
Mike, thank you very much for your call, and have a good rest of the night. Hey, put Slade on for a second.
Anytime.
Slade, do you want to?
We want to hear from
talk,
Slade, see what questions he has for us.
No, guess not. We're gonna.
All right.
All right. So let's get back to what we're talking about.
We're talking about tennis. Well, speaking of
and
PEDs,
tennis, I personally think.
Just got a text from another listener from my mom. How you doing, Mom? She said, talking about another tennis player who was suspended for PED use, Maria Sharapova. Apparently she's back.
Free Maria. Just
she's
kidding.
winning.
I'm kidding. Don't free Maria.
So, your other roommate Josh rocking the Sugar Povas at practice.
I think it's unfortunate though, just because of Maria Sharapova's name. I get that they did it for Juan with all these wild cards, but I think you got to look at it different. That Maria took steroids and she's getting wild cards back into tournaments. Juan was injured and gets wild cards back in, but that makes sense. And Juan's ranking is just
when you say Juan, we're talking about Juan Martín del Potro.
Yes, sorry for people that don't know tennis. Juan Martín del Potro, injured for a couple months, comes back, gets all these wild cards, and is now the GOAT again.
With the fear hand.
The fear
forehand.
No, I just...
Sharapova, the thing is, I think, she's back, and she got, she admitted to using something, but for a different purpose. That she'd been on this, she'd been using this medication for years.
Yeah.
And for a, as far as we know, a legitimate medical concern, and that's where we're at with it. But the thing with Fed is, I think testing is. I think testing is too stringent in the sport of tennis.
I would agree to that. I don't think it's as prevalent as it is in other sports. You know what I mean? It's maybe the ATP is sweeping it under the rug a little bit. I don't really know what they're doing with the testing or how stringent it is. I know for medical stuff, if they're gonna withdraw, they have to go to their doctor, the on-site doctor.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, it's such it's hard to get away with a lot, I think, in sport tennis. But
I think for tennis too, especially on the men's side at least, is where I see it the most. It's you can be juiced and have all this muscle mass and have all this fitness. And Michael Herman, what does he want? Can I come in for that?
We're getting more questions from Michael Herman about tennis. Sorry about that.
I mean,
Sorry
we could let Mike in, but I'm just too lazy to get up.
Mike, if you're listening, why don't you call back? You can call.
Back,
you
Mike.
And Slade can call when we're talking about tennis. Anyway,
I just think it's you can have that strength or whatever, the physical attributes, but you can't be good at tennis without the knowledge of how to play the game.
You need to know how to play. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot of skill, a lot of strategy.
Fighting, you can take PEDs and destroy people because you're just beating someone up. Tennis is
fighting is brute force. I mean, yeah, you at times I'm sure you have to know how to fight.
Yeah,
it's about,
but
anticipating.
Tennis is so much more technical.
Tennis is way different. You can. I like to think of it as pitchers in a way, learning how to adjust, and adapt.
Yeah,
from being flamethrowers to learning how to hit for headed spots and how to get guys to swing at pitches potentially in the dirt. For example, Justin Verlander, his fastball velocity, I remember it just kept going up throughout the game, and he had one of the highest averages in the league. And over the last few years, he's had to learn how to hit spots more often, as opposed to just blowing the ball past guys.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I just think that's the same thing with tennis. You can't just blow people off the court.
Exactly. And Fed being the greatest of all time, there's no doubt. And it's not like he was always overpowering guys. I mean, he could overpower plenty of people, but the guy knows how to play the game.
Oh, he knows how to play the game to a T.
Technically proficient. It's just
every single shot is technically repeatable every single time for him.
He can do it in his sleep, as all the pros can, but Fed really can, and he was smart. He listened to his body, took the time off, and got healthy and stayed in shape.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely something that helped him. He took the time off, he recovered, he did what he needed to do, and he got back on court, and he's I have nothing to lose. My ranking's what?
Yeah. And his mindset too when he came back. he had the mindset.
He had the mindset of
come
like,
out and
I
play
don't have
tennis.
to lose. Like
I have
can do
nothing to
anything.
prove to anyone. You know, I just want to play tennis, and the results speak for themselves.
Exactly. He's had a phenomenal start to the season. Having those 3 now wins over Rafa Nadal, which seems unprecedented for him for a season.
You know, it just brings back. It just reminds me of how much he's had Rafa Nadal's number on hard courts over the years.
Yeah.
You know, clay courts obviously it's a different story, but
Definitely.
But hard courts, he's been dominating him at least this year. So we'll move on from there. We'll shift gears a bit, moving into tennis itself, to the sport of tennis, and moving away from the PED talk and moving away from baseball. Clay court season started.
The first rounds of Monte Carlo have been played, starting off big time. Some good results from people. Good results. I know the all English first round, Kyle Edmund versus Evans.
How did that go?
Edmund won, 7-5, 6-1. Plays Rafael Nadal second round. I think honestly Rafael will win this tournament. I just think Rafa has had. Rafa as well, coming back from his wrist injury. I think he's pissed off enough that he's lost to Roger 3 times.
Yeah. Can come out? I think
he's got some fire building, and I think that he can have a very, very successful clay court season, albeit he doesn't get injured again, which is still slightly possible. But I think Rafael Nadal could be very successful not only in Monte Carlo but throughout the entire clay court season.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win the French.
I would have to agree with that. I don't know exactly who's going to win the French Open, as does nobody else.
Yeah,
but I think Rafael Nadal is a strong front runner for a lot of people to say, just because he's back, he's in form as much as possible.
And clay court season is his season.
It's his life.
We've got another caller. It's Michael Herman again.
Michael Herman.
I believe he is with Slade Dumas.
Back again.
And they want to talk about tennis, which is what we are talking about right now, so let's see what they had to say. Michael Herman, you're back.
You're back again 5 minutes later. What did you forget?
Hello?
Radio silence for Michael Herman.
Michael. Papa Herm, you there?
Oh, well, I guess we're not getting any more of Herm.
We're having a little technical difficulties on Michael Herman's end.
Herm, we'll let you figure that one out.
Back.
So we're just going to keep talking here.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you think Rafa will win Monte Carlo?
I do.
All right. Who does he play in the final?
Let
me get the draw up.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Djokovic, and it says on the ATP Tour website, Djokovic escapes. He played in the second round. He played Gilles Simon. I almost said Giles Simon, which is I know his name isn't Giles Simon, right? But he barely beat Gilles Simon of France.
Score was
6-3, 3-6, 7-5 in the third. Oh, here's Mike again. Let's see if we can get him on the line.
Here we go, Michael Herman.
Mike Herman, you're back. Can you hear us this time?
Hello.
Oh, it's Slade. Hey, Slade.
How you doing, Trade? This is Slade, a.k.a. Trade or Glade Dumas, on the line with us. We're talking tennis.
This is actually Mike again.
Mike is back.
I'm forwarding the question from Trade.
Okay,
all right,
go ahead.
Facilitate, Mike. Facilitate.
Too shy to ask the question.
That's fine.
The argument is that Nadal is without doubt the best player ever because of his head-to-head with Federer. He wants you to discuss that.
Ooh.
All right, so we can discuss. All right, here we go.
I mean, yeah, he's got all the French Opens he could ever want, but he's Slade. Let's just confirm something. Are you saying he's the greatest of all time? Or that's what you're saying?
Rafael Nadal was literally bred to beat Roger Federer.
Yeah.
Who else is calling?
Some random number. So we're gonna put them aside.
I mean,
oh wait, no, I know who's calling. It's not a random number. Well, to the caller who's calling right now, I believe it's my dad. Dad, we currently have Michael Herman on the line. Oh, call ended. So let's see. Yeah, we'll take your call in a second. Let's answer Slade's question.
All right.
What do you think?
So the score is 14 wins to Roger Federer and 23 wins to Rafael Nadal. You know, honestly, like you can state the case for both of them, to be honest, that they're both equally as great, like greatest of all time. Like there's so many names like to throw on the Mount Rushmore of tennis. Like who do you put on there? Like there's too many people. There's been too much success in the history of tennis to like say that there's a definitive like greatest of all time. I mean, Roger Federer definitely has the greatest front running in that argument, I think.
Yeah,
but
at least especially when you consider the Open era, that too, you know. But you know, people are gonna throw names out there like Fed, obviously, Rafa, Djokovic, Pistol Pete Sampras,
Andre
Rocket
Agassi,
himself, Rod Laver.
Yeah, just there's so many. Jimmy
Connors.
Yeah,
right. Yvonne Lendl.
There are so many people, and like even people that like haven't, you know, maybe won a Grand Slam, but have won a lot of tournaments outside of a Grand Slam. Like still, like
especially by number.
James Blake, even Roddick too. Roddick's only won one, but he still like did so like
600 plus career wins.
Like not only did they do a lot as like in their career, but they did a lot for the sport. I think to let it grow.
And the thing, you know, the thing about them is some would argue they just made it big on the tour at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so tough to be like that era of tennis like was so difficult to. You know, like be active in.
It is. So anyway, Slade, I hope that answers your question. We've got our next caller now. We're gonna take it. I believe it's my dad. Hello? Is this? Hey, Dad, you're on the radio.
Mr. Resnick, how's it going?
With me and Brittle. What's going on?
Boys, I'm glad to hear you. You sound great.
Thank you. What's going on?
I'm tired of hearing about tennis. I want to know what you guys think about the Marlins possibly being sold.
Oh, we talked about that last week, so we will talk about. We'll take a quick break from tennis and talk about that.
Marlins being sold.
Yeah, so I love the idea of that. I think Jeffrey Loria is a buffoon. He's an imbecile. He is plenty of words I would like to say that I don't think I can right now. Although Professor Zerwick, I don't think he'd really care. But you know, I just for the sake of this show, the fact that it's live, I'm gonna hold back.
Keep it G.
Yeah,
Keep it G
exactly. Jeffrey Loria is.
We could check with the censors.
Oh yeah, he's a moron. He's awful. He's like the Jerry Jones of the major leagues.
Totally. I'd like to see Conine get involved. I don't know why he's sitting on the sideline.
Interesting. Jeff Conine, Mr. Marlin himself.
I know. And you know, Beckett's got nothing to do. I mean, there's all these former Marlins players
just sitting there with plenty of money. They could bring it together.
Oh, that'd be maybe a joint venture.
Great. And then they would give us a piece of the stadium, since us members of Dade County, and I know that all of Maryland envies us because we own the stadium and we don't see a dime.
That's true. That's very true. And the stadium that is never full. You know, with all these expectations, they need to fill it. But I love the idea of them selling it. I hadn't thought about that though. That's interesting. You bring up you know Niner and Beckett and a bunch of other guys out there as people who would be, you know, they would be great. It would be great for the sport of baseball. It'd be great for the organization. They would know. I think they would run a successful organization.
I agree. So I appreciate you guys taking that little trip to Dreamland for me. And I will tell you, you're the only sports talk radio I listen to.
Hey.
So,
got the insight.
Go Govs, okay?
All right. Yes, indeed. Thanks a lot for calling, Dad. And say hi to everyone.
Thank you for calling, Mr. Resnick.
Later.
Thank you.
Bye.
What a great guy.
Oh yeah, he's the best. Just ask him.
The best.
Yeah.
All right. So where were we? We were talking about.
Go back to tennis,
goats.
But I thought that was a good little side note for a second.
We were talking about the clay court season. We kind of got our predictions like put out there. You want to talk about what's coming up next?
Well, because so the person who brought this up, you're talking about the next gen.
Yeah, the next gen tournaments.
My friend Josh, I don't know if you're listening. Josh Rosner, aka Juliet, as I like to call him, and his brother Jeremy is Romeo. But great guy, two of my best friends from back home. Josh was talking to me last week after the show, asked if I had said anything about this, and his question to us is, how do you feel about the ATP, that is the Association of Tour Professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the ATP Tour. So how do you feel about the ATP creating a new tennis tournament called the Next Gen to attract more fans as a marketing ploy?
Alrighty. So I had
That's
no
a
idea
loaded
what this
question.
was. I don't think... Did you have any idea?
I didn't either.
So I had to do... I did some research on this, doing the pre-show research.
Which is as we should be doing.
This tournament, it's going to be held in Fiera Milano, Italy, in November, and the world's best 21 and under players will compete in Milan in November. So they're doing what seems to me, they're doing a...
Seems like a spotlight, a showcase,
like a World Tour Finals for people under 21,
and not necessarily.
And they're calling it the Race to Milan. Like, you know how they call it the other one, like the Race to Europe or wherever it is?
Yeah. London or Shanghai. But it's not... And when you say under 21, they're not just talking about junior tour players, right? They're talking about like ATP tour players.
They're talking about...
who are playing on the tour right now, but who are like...
Under 21.
Who are like, overshadowed by the mainstream
So
names,
they're taking the... I want to say it's the top 8. I think they're going to run it like the World Tour Finals.
So in that same format.
Yeah, that kind of same.
If you'd like to explain how that goes for our listeners.
Mm-hmm. So it's taking people like Zverev, Medvedev.
Sasha Zverev.
Sasha Zverev.
What's his name?
Dmitry Medvedev.
Yeah.
I believe. Daniel Medvedev. My bad.
I believe he's the former president of Russia, isn't he?
Basically.
I think that's who Dmitry... Yep. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. That was a side...
Andrew Rublev, Taylor Fritz. So a lot of the...
Taylor Fritz, who looks like our... I don't know if he's listening,
Resident
down
Luke
under. He's currently in Australia on a study abroad. But Taylor Fritz, Luke Hall is our resident Taylor Fritz at Goucher. Luke, we love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Hope you're doing well, Luke.
Yeah.
Down under.
Yeah.
So the actual prize money for this is like $1.2 million.
Really?
Yeah. The event will award $1.2 million in U.S. dollars in prize money.
1.2 mil.
Yeah. They're doing like
they're making it big.
Yeah, they're doing it exactly like the World Tour Finals. They're just going to have that round robin, and whoever makes it out of the groups, they'll play the semifinals, and then they'll play a final. Which I think that's really interesting, because it not only gives incentive for younger players to try and do their best on tour,
it gives them exposure.
But it gives them exposure, and it gives them, money to work with.
So they don't have to worry, tennis is, especially at the pro level,
it's an expensive sport.
It's not like, unless you're winning all the time at at the higher level tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are winning all the time, you're going to be making more money off sponsorship deals and all that kind of stuff. And other than that, you have to pay for your own travel expenses.
It's definitely, if you're starting out, it's a hard thing to overcome. I've actually been watching this series about an 18-year-old trying to win his first ATP point.
Who?
I don't know what his name is, but I know he is Bulgarian, and he has his friend come around and film all of it, and they talk about how much money they spent and how many.
Grigor Dimitrov Jr.
He's trying to be. And he's talking about how much money he spent on hotels, how many times he's qualified and stuff like that, and it's rough. They're in the hole.
You have to pay entry fees for tournaments too.
They're in the hole $3,000 at this point. It's pretty funny.
Wow, it's expensive. It's not like you're on a team, in a different, in another sport where you get paid, a yearly contract.
Mm-hmm.
And where they cover a lot of your expenses, like travel, team travel and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot. It costs a lot of money.
It's a lot of money to be able to.
So I think that's definitely a good thing, for these players. Like you said, it gives them exposure, and they can make it. It helps them in terms of making a living.
Alexander Zverev has been phenomenal on tour as of late. Having those great matches with Nick Kyrgios and just great showings in tournaments as recent. He's such a good technical sound player. I think he'll do very well.
I was just, is Borna Coric going to be in this tournament too? Or is he over 21?
Might be.
And the only reason I ask about him is, he actually won his first ATP title
Oh, he did. He won.
He did. And I don't know what
did he win?
Did he get hurt? He dropped off the face of the earth for like the last year and a half or so.
So he got injured. I don't remember what the injury was, but I know he was on like a very big hot streak.
He came up. Him and Zverev were making a name for themselves at the same time.
He was pretty highly ranked.
It was him and Zverev. I remember seeing them really make it big.
So he was doing real well, and then he got injured for a long time. He was out for a while. I think it was something serious. It was something serious.
Let's look. I will look it up.
And then he came back, and he just won Marrakesh, which is pretty good to come back and win. Get your maiden ATP title. Start to work on those higher, like bigger tournaments.
Yeah, that's an ATP.
Also, shout out to the Americans, Stevie Johnson winning Houston.
Stevie J, that's the hometown boy winning the hometown. I don't think he's from Houston, but we'll say home country.
Home-ish.
So we'll say the homeboy.
The homeboy, Steve Johnson, winning Houston.
Winning Houston.
Nice job, Stevie.
There you go, American tennis right there. Yeah. Jack Sock's still the man to beat in terms of American tennis, and I love watching Jack Sock play.
Yes, I think he's starting to emerge more, as a threat on tour. He's pretty high up there. I think the forehand is definitely something he can use very well.
Not to be messed with.
Not to be messed with. Have you seen those RPMs?
Quite a lot.
Yeah, I think the only thing he'll run into is longevity on tour. Like, I think his wrist may sustain some injuries from that wacky forehand.
Like Rafa.
Yeah, exactly. Like Rafa had to take some time off because his wrist was hurting.
The thing with Sock is, not only is he's a very proficient singles player, but he's a phenomenal doubles player.
Yeah, he won Wimbledon.
Yeah,
won Wimbledon. Doubles beat the Bryan brothers.
I think he won Miami. I know,
he's won a lot
Wells, and then Wimbledon with Vasek Pospisil.
Vasek Pospisil, who's also been playing.
Who played a monster match against Andy Murray. I was so happy watching him beat Andy Murray at Indian Wells.
He played so good.
He Murrayed Murray with that topspin lob winner.
Yeah, it was that
backhand one.
That was a sick match to watch.
Easy dub.
Yeah, Borna-Coric was injured.
I'm trying to see what his injury is.
Yeah, I don't think many people knew that he was injured. I think people just thought he was taking a break. One person that's starting to try and make a comeback from injury is Bernard Tomic as well.
What injury does he have?
His mind. His mind.
Yeah, the guy's a train wreck.
He was injured at one point. He did have like some rib injury.
Yeah, then he went and he was arrested multiple times, or in like South Beach for noise complaints in his penthouse apartment down in Miami Beach.
He's a nut.
That guy's a nutcase.
He's a nut.
I can't stand watching him play anymore. I remember when he first made it onto the tour. He was
actually
relatively
decent.
fun to watch. And now he's just a pusher.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything with the ball.
That's why he's not seeded in any tournament ever anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
I think that could be true. I think like
genuinely doesn't, and
that's the hard thing about tennis is like being able to care for that, like not getting burnt out is what I've always heard.
Whether or not he's burnt out, or if he just genuinely
doesn't want to do
doesn't care, I don't know.
What's with these Australians and not caring?
And that was the thing too with. And look, I'm not saying that I'm completely swayed yet. I'm sold with Kyrgios yet, but Kyrgios seems as though he's finally starting to grow up. There are questions about his work ethic, and he's been,
I think,
incredibly
in the past,
mature the last few years, but
especially this year,
he's making strides.
Has made very, very big strides for what his game is at right now.
His game and also his mentality. I think.
Yeah, I definitely think him mentally, like being able to stay. In the 2 matches he's played with Federer, staying in long enough to go 3 sets both times, and play 3 tie breaks in each of those sets, like play a tie break for each of those sets. I think that's definitely something that like he's had to work on. I mean, he still doesn't have a coach, but I think
Leighton Hewitt, I remember was kind of mentoring him, and then with the Davis Cup team as well. I'm hoping Leighton getting into his head,
I think it's that, and the other thing that I think had really beneficial for him, I don't know if you remember, but he got banned, right?
Yeah,
so
for the incident with Stan already.
Yeah, so he got banned for that, and then he had to go to the ATP. Forced him. They said you can either take this fine and go to like anger management counseling, or you can take a larger fine and a larger suspension and not go.
Yeah.
And I think he decided that he wanted to try it out and see, what benefits may happen.
Whatever it was, yeah.
And from what I've heard, he likes it a lot. Like he said it's definitely helped him out a lot, like seeing a sports psychologist and just talking about his mental strides. And I think that's definitely shown.
He's starting to see the work ethic as well.
I think honestly, if he can continue within the next,
if he really
dedicates himself and probably gets a coach, I think honestly he could win a major within the next 3 years. He's good enough to. I think he's definitely
no doubt he's good enough to. The next guy though, I think to win a major out of aside from the big four guys out there right now, or I guess really the big 4 or 5, but like in terms of the younger guys, the current crop, of like guys who are starting to really make big. Milos Raonic.
Yeah, I definitely think
he's gonna win a major.
That could be true. He's been close a couple times now.
He's very close. Last year Wimbledon.
I think
against Fed. He really took in the finals.
He really took his game of like playing more like a John Isner, with that big serve. Like I'm gonna hold each time. Like, and if I get a break, the set's over.
Yeah,
like,
he worked with John McEnroe, Johnny Mac. Working on the net game and the volleys and
I really think his
ground strokes too.
Everything
they were bad, but they've gotten better in his movement.
Yeah, everything from him has been on the up and up, I think.
Definitely.
And he definitely could be, one of the
weapons.
Next generation guys to pull it off. He has all the tools. He just needs to be able to put it together.
Yeah, and he's shown that he can do it.
Yeah, he made the final.
He made the finals at Wimbledon, beating Roger Federer
in 5 sets.
And Wimbledon is Roger Federer's tournament.
That's a scary man. You don't want to face that person.
That is Roger Federer's tournament.
Yeah, he just like he just knows how each of those courts play. Like he just masterful. Art.
Roger Federer is great anywhere, but
you put him in Wimbledon.
You put him at the All England Club.
Greatest of all time.
Just look out.
Don't talk about anyone else. Like he is tennis.
He is Mr. Wimbledon.
Exactly.
So, should we?
Let's move on.
Moving on from
we
tennis?
have some playoff basketball to talk about.
Playoffs, yeah. Big Ed, I know you're listening out there.
The playoffs have started. Chad, what is your gut reaction to the NBA playoffs so far? How are you feeling about everyone? I know, little bit sad that Miami did not make it over the Bulls, but you do have former Miami Heat player Dwayne Wade on the court for you.
D-Wade is out on the court there. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I would like to look at the Jazz.
The Utah Jazz
are playing the Los Angeles Clippers.
Starting off big already with a 1-0 lead.
Even without their big man Rudy Gobert for the first game, who got injured on the first possession. The Utah Jazz, they look good.
I think they're looking. They came out great. They came out like they needed to come out to play their first game. They looked good. Gordon Hayward looking great. Great energy on the court. Yeah. I think that they really had a good showing in that first game against the Clippers. I watched the highlights a little bit. I wasn't able to catch it on TV, but I did watch the highlights.
As a matter of fact, they're playing tonight.
They are playing tonight.
Game 2 is in Los Angeles at the Civic Center. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. The Jazz were surprises here.
Yeah, I definitely think the Jazz were surprised this year. I've never really thought of them as a very impactful team, but I think
the last time any Jazz team was good was back in the it was back in the days of the mailman Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Exactly. So I think Gordon Hayward has really brought that team to a new level and he's just inspired them.
He's bringing life to the team.
Exactly. What other games do we got here?
Tonight we've got Game 2 of the Bucks-Raptors series and the Bulls-Celtics. So the Bucks and the Raptors, we got currently 7 minutes 37 seconds left in the fourth.
Incredible.
And the Raptors are currently up 95-88. Apparently Giannis had a huge. It says on here on the caption for this little video clip. Giannis extends for big baseline jam. He burst by the Raptors defenders, soars in for the huge one-handed jam, which doesn't surprise me at all. Guy, the Greek Freak, as he's known. Guy's a monster.
There was what was it? Where is it? Did you watch any of those games? Did you watch the Toronto Bucks game at all? There was a little bit of controversy around that.
I heard that there was a technical foul that was actually rescinded.
They rescinded that on.
They rescinded there was a couple of techs that were rescinded over the playoffs. Isaiah Thomas's tech was rescinded.
Isaiah Thomas's tech got rescinded. Was it Giannis who got the tech?
I think it was Giannis Antetokounmpo who called for a tech.
He got a tech for celebrating a basket. He got a tech for no reason.
Yeah,
that's what I don't remember exactly.
Did he dunk and then hang on the rim and fly around?
I don't know.
That's a tech right there.
I didn't really look at what it was, and I didn't look at the replay of what the tech was, but I know that he did get a tech, and even Giannis was like, "Why are you giving me this? I don't understand.
Yeah.
This is dumb." But no, there was some controversy with the Bucks Raptors game, the first one, because they're playing game 2 right now, or did they play game 2 already?
No,
Game 3?
Bucks Raptors are currently in game 2, 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the fourth.
The first game they played, they had some controversy about the screens. The screens that the Bucks were setting. And I can't remember if it was DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry talking, but he got asked, were the screens from the Milwaukee Bucks legal tonight? And he's like, do you want to pay my fine for answering this question? No. Next question. But there was definitely some controversy there.
He was just there so he wouldn't get fined. Nah,
exactly.
Little Marshawn. But yeah, no, I didn't know too much about that. What was the foul in the and then there was the tech in the Celtics game.
I don't know why IT got that tech. I didn't watch the highlights of that. I'm a little behind.
And big, big stuff from Isaiah Thomas in that first game.
Yeah, even though they lost, Isaiah Thomas dropped 30. Isaiah Thomas is just such a problem for most teams.
And coming off of, a day after loss of his sister.
Yeah, he really...
Big stuff from him.
That takes a lot of effort, just being able to get out there even.
And to go and
drop 33 points after that is... hats off to Isaiah Thomas, man. He looked fantastic a couple nights ago. He
did. Yeah, that between the legs pass over to Avery Bradley, I think it was, and then right back to him, and then he just drained it.
So good.
Anyway, talk about the Rockets Thunder series.
Rockets and Thunder.
Pat Bev is who we need to talk about right now. He gets decked by Steven Adams, who sets a pick on him as he's running full speed ahead trying to cover
Patrick
Westbrook.
Beverley
gets up,
gets destroyed.
Straps Russell Westbrook. And by the way, that 3 he hit in the corner.
Did you see his celebration with that?
He turned around and started yelling into the crowd.
So on it. He was so ready for that. Patrick Beverley is so extra, but he's such an animal on court.
He's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. I honestly think with that series, Houston will win.
How many games?
4. I don't see it going over. You think it
goes to 7?
I think it goes to 6.
So
I don't think
4-2.
we'll have a game 7 out of that. Just because OKC can't execute the game plan they've been executing all year against the Rockets. It worked for a lot of teams. Yeah. Pass the ball to Russ and have him take all your shots and get all the rebounds and do all the stuff. You can't do that in playoff basketball. You can't have Russ go
average triple-double in the playoffs.
Russ put up good points, but he was 6 for 23.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you have
not efficient.
Pat Bev and James Harden just putting up numbers on you.
And not only putting up numbers on you can't do it when you have Pat Bev strapping you crazy.
Exactly. So
Pat Bev was money on both sides of the ball.
He played really, really, really good.
He was fantastic.
Honestly, he played great. What other series do we have to talk about? Another good 5-4 series to talk about. Atlanta versus the local Washington Wizards.
Yeah, the Zards, WizKids, as heard them called.
As diehard Magic fan, R.I.P. Magic. Not the best showing from us this season.
No. O-Town didn't really do too much.
We'll be back, don't you worry.
Anyway.
Back to greatness. But I always have some hate in my heart for Dwight Howard just because he went to Atlanta. Went on a touring.
Went to L.A.
Went on a touring spree and then was like, Atlanta's fun.
His time in L.A. with the Lakers was an absolute debacle.
Just played so bad. He was so good on Orlando.
It was a joke.
Have you ever looked at that Orlando roster that went to the
To the finals with Dwight. Who else is on there?
All right, so it was Dwight.
Yeah.
JJ Redick.
Oh, JJ.
Jameer Nelson.
Yes, that's who.
Hito Turkoglu.
Hito.
Who else was on there? I want to say Tracy McGrady was on there.
What year was that team?
2008. I gotta look at that.
If it was 2008, T-Mac was already in Houston.
Really? Was
he?
He
was. Yeah, he wasn't there for the finals. And I'm thinking back because the cover of NBA Live 07, which
that's true,
was T-Mac, and NBA Live 07 was okay. NBA Live 06 was the last good NBA Live they ever made. That was, and not only because they had D-Wade on the cover, but because it was pretty good.
Hito Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson, Dwight Howard, Rashard Lewis.
Rashard Lewis is on. That's right.
That's who I was thinking.
That was post Rashard Lewis, post Seattle Supersonics Rashard Lewis. Back when it was him and Ray Allen, dropping bombs from three. Rashard Lewis was a solid player.
Yeah, so I think the Wizards will take that series. John Wall has been so good through this whole season. He's brought the Wizards to new heights. What other series do we have to talk about?
I saw something on Snapchat today. Is that one of the Morris brothers showed up to the game. Who was it, Markieff or Mark? Which one's on the Wizards? Oh, God, I can't remember. Is it Marcus Morris on the Wizards? Or is it Markieff? Well, point being, they're twins, and just look it up real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Markieff.
Markieff's on the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So Marcus Morris showed up at the game wearing his brother Markieff. You said Marcus.
Markieff
was on the Wizards. That's right. Marcus showed up at the game wearing a Markieff Morris jersey.
Oh,
and said, someone said something like along the lines of, if Markieff gets hurt, I don't think anyone really noticed the difference when we put Marcus in there.
Exactly. So I think the Wizards have looked pretty good through this year.
Atlanta
just doesn't have enough firepower, I think.
Not like they had a lot with Kyle Korver. But that's a big. Kyle Korver
was a huge part of their team. I think that they just don't have enough playmakers on the team. Like Dwight Howard is a playmaker. Like Dwight Howard's a great basketball player. He's very good in Atlanta.
He's but
like, who's your next best guy? Like Dennis Schroeder? Like what is?
Is one of the Teague brothers still there?
Yeah, I think one of the Teague. I just don't see like that.
But the thing with the Hawks is it's a team. They play good team-oriented basketball, and then send it around.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's not like
they just don't have. I just don't think they have enough.
Otherwise, they don't have the firepower.
Yeah, I just don't think they have enough firepower to make a big impact. Granted, they are a 5 seed, but I think that's regular season. This is playoff basketball. It's much different. All right.
Who else we got?
We got a great
Pacers.
one. The Pacers versus the Cavs.
That's right. Paul George
getting
Lance
angry.
Stevenson, who's back with the Pacers, who's got a history, especially in the playoffs, and it's happens to be again, when they played the Heat in the playoffs, and just in the regular season during those years as well. But Lance Stevenson, there's the thing with him blowing into LeBron's ear, and LeBron just the funniest grin ever.
It's my favorite. That's one of my favorites.
And then the flops, and you can see his eyes open and he pretends to sleep at half court. Lance
is one of my favorite characters in the NBA. He's just so ridiculous. It's so funny.
He doesn't know how to control himself.
But no, there was another reason Paul George was a little bit upset.
Yeah,
who was the guy that took the last shot
in game one, right?
In game one.
Yeah, he said, he's like, I need the ball there.
He said he said he was a little bit upset that his teammate took that shot, and he felt it should have been him. And his teammate's like, I don't care. Like, yeah, it should have definitely been Paul George. Like, it shouldn't have been me. Like, I made a play call. Like, I had to make a quick pick. I was like, either I pass the ball to PG and it gets intercepted, or
he misses,
I try and make it, or I try and take the shot with as much as I can, and it's a hard decision to make when you have 4 seconds left in a playoff basketball game.
It's the risk reward.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to calculate in that situation.
He waited out enough in his mind, I think, and he's like, if I had the opportunity, I would have gotten the ball to Paul George to take that shot. Yeah. I think the Cavs will end up taking that series. I don't know if the Cavs make the finals, though. I don't know. They've been in a slump. People aren't showing up, and I think they need to get out of that hole that they've been in. And our last matchup that we can talk about. Actually, 2 more matchups we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Bardia's favorite.
Oh, yes.
Portland versus Golden State. That game was good. That was
the one on Sunday?
Real good game. That was
on Sunday, right?
Yeah, I watched most of it. 88 after 3 quarters, 88 all. That's what more can you want? I just think that if the Blazers want to get at least 1 or 2 games, they're going to have to show up more in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter by the Golden State Warriors was absolutely incredible. They really put on a show of all their players. And then the last one for tonight, I think, for basketball, Spurs Grizzlies. How do you feel about that? Did you watch the first game?
I didn't see too much of it.
There
was something on there. There was current head coach of David Fizdale. Long time Miami Heat assistant coach. There was something on here.
He went off in his press conference. He brought up the most relevant numbers from that game.
Sounds off the lack of respect he feels his team doesn't get after game 2 lost to the Spurs. Yeah?
He went on. I don't know if you watched it, but
Fizdale gives a scathing tirade on the officials. He
went on his like post game interview.
As a matter of fact, I think we'll pull it up.
Pull it up. He went on his post game interview and he was like, "Do you know how many times the Spurs shot free throws tonight?
How many times?
Do you know how many times?
How many times? A little Jersey Gentleman.
Especially he was like, how many times did the Spurs shoot free throws? How many times did we shoot free throws? And how many times did Kawhi Leonard go to the line that night? Kawhi Leonard shot more free throws than all of the Grizzlies combined. Yeah. Only 3 people got up to the line for the Grizzlies, and he went off and said, like, yeah, I may be a rookie coach, but like I still deserve respect in the league. Like, give me some calls, like give me some stuff. Let's see what happens. Like call some fouls for me, please. And he just went in. It was insane.
Yeah.
Do I have it?
Well,
do you have it?
I have it. I've pulled it up right here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a listen.
Let's take a listen. See what happens.
And Big Ed, I see you're inquiring about call-ins. Yes, you can call my phone. Once we finish this David Fizdale, once we finish this little excerpt from his post-game interview, go ahead and call. So just hold off on it.
The soda series, Fizz versus Pop.
Oh, I like that. I like that. All right, we'll be back in a second. Here comes the Fizz interview.
Here comes Fizz.
I know Pop's got pedigree and I'm a young rookie, but they're not going to rook us. That's unacceptable. That was unprofessional. My guys dug in that game and earned the right to be in that game, and they did not even give us a chance.
Well, it's safe to say Grizzlies coach Dave.
So, yeah, he doesn't want to get rooked, man. Don't rook my man Fizz.
Oh.
That's the gist of it. Let's make some better calls. And let's make this series interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Is Big Ed going to call in?
Talk about some basketball? If you're listening, go ahead and give us a call.
Ooh.
I feel like we're going to get a lot of Wizards questions.
Side notes. Game 2, Warriors PR. Durant, left calf strain. Livingston, right index finger. And Barnes, right ankle. All questionable.
Oh, and how about Jokic with Portland?
Yusuf Nurkic.
Or Nurkic, sorry, that's right.
Yusuf Nurkic not playing game 2.
I don't know why.
Don't know why. But he's not playing game 2.
Well, he had that non-displaced leg fracture.
Oh, right. That's what it probably is.
They said that it's a non-weight-bearing bone, so non-weight-bearing injury. So that's good news right there. It's more about how much pain you can tolerate.
Yeah.
My apologies there, folks, for getting those names confused. They were involved in the same trade.
They were involved in the same trade.
That's right.
Actually, Yusuf Nurkic did the most savage thing ever. He got traded.
He called them out too. Saying we're going to make the playoffs.
He got traded from Denver.
Yeah.
For Miles Plumlee,
who's a bum,
who is not good, and something else.
Miles Bumley.
Exactly.
As I've heard, man's Bardia, the Bardia of the United States himself say, Barge, if you're listening,
he is a bum.
Shout out for you.
He got traded from the Nuggets for Miles Plumlee, and once that trade got made, the Nuggets was saying like, "Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs."
Plumlee, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mason or I'm not sure. They all.
I think it was Mason who played with
They all said, "Oh, we're gonna make the playoffs," and then the then Portland beats them and eventually clinches a playoff spot. And he's like, "Have a great summer."
Yeah, he said, "Have a
Good
great
luck.
summer." You know, I said we're going to make the
Thanks.
playoffs, so have a great summer.
Have a great summer.
Yeah.
So now I'm here in Portland making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Also, one last side note: Carmelo Anthony got a girl pregnant apparently
Whoa.
in a New York City Gentlemen's Club. It was on
Oh.
Bleacher Report.
Oh, Bleacher Report coming up big. What's...
I don't know the story on that,
Wow.
but it's just a headline. Well, you take it with a grain of salt. It's TMZ.
Oh, yeah. Definitely take that with a grain of salt. I'd be like listening to son from our former teammate, Mr. We'll just call him by the name of Peepaw, if you know what I'm talking about. We won't say his name, but here's our next caller. We've got Goucher men's basketball legend, and just a Goucher legend in his own right, Mr. Ed Oliver, Big Ed. So here we go. Big Ed, you're live with me and Britt. How's it going, Big Ed? What's good?
What up?
I'm good. How you fellas doing?
Great.
All doing great, man. Happy to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So what would you...
I'm watching,
Huh?
you said what?
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I'm watching the playoffs. I see the Heat. They almost made it, man. Congrats.
Yeah. Don't be ripping on the Heat right now, Big Ed.
Hey, Hassan Whiteside actually had a decent season.
Yeah. Sam Whiteside, or as you like to call him, Big Ed Hassan.
Dario
Yeah.
Sarkis.
Yeah, it has him, man. He played his butt off.
Heck yeah.
Goran Dragic had a pretty decent season.
Season.
Well, I know you want to talk about the Wiz kids, your boys. Let's get to
Yeah,
it.
man. Hey, did you see that quartet dunk?
Nah, which one?
How did you not see that?
I've been real busy.
I think I saw it. It was nuts. Quartet.
Oh, you sent it to me? Oh, I haven't gone on
Come
the
on now,
IG now in
Chad.
about a day. Sorry about that, man. I'm
Quartet's
gonna
nice.
check it out. So Quartet had a big dunk, the Polish Hammer.
Polish Hammer.
Yeah, but I mean, I got a question for you guys. You guys said that you don't hit the Cavs like in the finals.
I don't know.
I'm not sure about. I haven't decided on that. That was more from Britt.
It's up in the air. They had that slump going in the playoffs. Like, I don't know how if they can recover. I think that they have the talent and they have the LeBron. They can do it for sure. They just got to pull it together. They just got to get back on track. Like Outramans tennis, just got to get right back on track.
That's right.
So if the Cavs did lose to somebody, who do you think that would be in the East?
I think they lose
Boston.
to Boston. That's the only person I see that can take them out. Isaiah Thomas is really a problem.
I don't. You know what? Well, you're gonna say Washington. I already know, Big Ed.
Come on now. Come on, guys. Boston's losing right now. They might go down 0-2, so
Oh no.
I don't know if they're going to
Well, you're definitely. I know. You're gonna say Washington, right?
Washington could do it, if John Wall, really goes off.
How about my boy Sheldon McClellan from the U, from representing the University of Miami? How about him?
He was playing well in the D League.
Well, he's gotten his minutes in the NBA too this year. Is he on the main squad right now?
Yeah, he's on the sitting on the bench. He's looking good on the bench though. Good crusher.
God damn. Looking nice on the bench. Gotta look good on the
How
bench.
about
He's a good player though.
He is, man. He was cooking John Wall 1-on-1 that one day.
Yeah, he did.
He did. But John Wall, I know you can't. John Wall is, and he's on the court. I know. But
John Wall's a scary man.
how about your boy Brad, the real deal Beal?
Bradley Beal also
He didn't
been
have
playing
the best
fantastic.
game yesterday. Pretty good game. I just want to ask you guys one more question. Who's your MVP for this season?
MVP for the season. That is a tough
Russ.
one. You could argue Russ because the numbers, but you could also.
James Harden.
I'd say, honestly, my gut says James Harden. He's brought his team to greatness, along with Mike D'Antoni.
What do you think, Big Ed?
Yeah, I'm just so close. I really wish it could be a co-MVP, but I am leaning a little bit towards Harden.
Yeah.
Brought his team to new
I
heights,
like
man.
James Harden more than Russell Westbrook, but if you had to base it solely on the numbers, then it would be Russ. But in terms of
Where you brought your team.
I think it's I'd probably sway a bit to Harden, but I know you want John Wall to be the MVP, but it's just not going to happen. I hate to break it to you.
He's top five.
He is top five.
Question: do you guys should the Knicks fire Phil Jackson?
Yes.
The Knicks need to
Are you kidding me?
They've said they need to rebuild the whole time. They need to rebuild like crazy.
They need to rebuild their whole like organization.
Melo needs to go. D Rose, I don't know why he went to New York. That was a terrible decision for him.
He didn't know he was going to New York.
Yeah.
He had no idea.
Still.
31 and 51 for the year though. Something's got to change.
Knicks have been awful.
That's what I say about the Magic whenever we have a terrible season, which was the last 5. Something's got to change.
Still.
And they finally
and Melo needs to get out of there.
Yeah, I think
they need to build that team around.
I think Melo will go. I don't think Melo will stay.
And do you guys think that Lonzo Ball's dad, LeVar Ball, become a coach or an owner of a team someday?
God, I hope not.
I hope not.
For just out of for sake of Lonzo Ball's mental health, no.
And I think LeVar Ball, he'd be a hype man. Easy.
Yeah, he could be a hype man.
He could be like that
Coach?
guy. Nah, definitely not coach. Could he be out there giving motivational speeches like Herm Edwards?
Probably not, but maybe.
It wouldn't be the same level as Herm Edwards, but that would be his type of role.
Herm Edwards,
you play to win the game. Hello, one of those. That's just classic. But yeah, let me ask you something real quick. Now we have you on the line. What do you think of Patrick Ewing, former Georgetown great, NBA great, and former Knicks great? What do you think of him?
Back to Georgetown,
where it all started.
I think that's a great move for Georgetown.
That's true. I'm happy. I'm excited. I like Patrick Ewing. He won the championship back in '84. I don't know if that's the best coaching option for us recruiting-wise, but I'm gonna try and give him a chance. I'm gonna give him a 2-year chance. Kind of like how Goucher has with some coaches previously. And, we'll see where we go from there. Well, let's go Terps, too. We're on the ride.
Yeah.
There we go.
For sure. So, Big Ed, we've got another caller coming in, and but we appreciate you having it on the line.
Thank you for calling, Big Ed. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, all the way,
All day, son. All day.
So, yeah. All right, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem.
No worries. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks. All right, so
Big Ed,
I think
the legend.
we'll take one more caller.
One more call. We'll talk about our match that we have tomorrow. And I think that's a good place to cut it
That'll
off.
be the wrap up. Yeah. So
That'll be our wrap.
Cameron Kinzer. Give us a call back now. We were still on the line with Big
Wait
Ed.
for your call. All right, so we can talk about more basketball tidbits, I guess.
Then Kinzer's gonna talk about basketball with us, and then he's gonna ask about Goucher basketball.
Rajon Rondo. They have to boo me because I got a red jersey on. Said he's been walking the streets and plenty of fans show him love. Well, playoff Rondo.
I don't like.
I'll show you some love. He's so good in the playoffs, though. How can you not like him?
'Cause he's an animal. He's a punk.
He is a punk.
Sorry, that's the only word for it.
He is a punk.
He's a total punk. What was it? Everywhere he goes, they don't want him there. Dallas didn't. It was a joke when he went there.
Didn't want him.
Yeah. So here, all right. Cameron Kinzer, how you doing? We had you live last week, and you're back. You're joining me and Britt tonight. How's it going?
What up?
Kinzer's another Florida boy. Say it's up to. I'm doing good. Britt's also another Florida guy. He's
O-Town represent.
Yeah.
Orlando. That's me. 407. Catch me there.
So what's going on, Kins? How you doing?
It's great. Nothing much. Doing well.
Cool. What would you like to talk about tonight? Talking about NBA playoffs right now. I'm feeling that's what you're calling to talk about.
We can talk about NBA playoffs.
All right.
Give us your thoughts. You've probably heard ours, but give us your thoughts on the NBA playoffs and your matchups.
If I remember correctly, you said Spurs Celtics.
I could see that.
That's what I gave you.
That's right. And are you sticking by that?
Sticking by it. I think they'll both pull it out. They're both very well coached teams, and I think experience comes in hand in the end.
So you're giving the edge to the Spurs? Yeah.
That's the final I'm hoping for. I just don't want to
entertaining final.
I don't want to see Warriors Cavs again.
Neither do
We've seen it twice. Let's get something new.
Yeah, it wasn't like when we were seeing the Spurs and Heat. Because those series were fun to watch.
What happened, Chad?
We won one, we lost one.
That is true.
But
what happened in that one, Chad?
We lost. But here's the thing, though. It was fun to watch.
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 These two series with LeBron back with the Cavs, it's just been more drama.
Yeah,
I think.
I'd say so.
So anyway, but yes, we lost one of them.
That would be the final I'd like to see.
I'd like to see, that'd be fun to see the Spurs
Wholesome.
Celtics. Yeah. So what's next, Kins?
I don't know, we could talk some Goucher basketball.
Oh, you want to talk Goucher basketball now? What are you talking about? Well, why don't you give us a quick background? With your basketball background, you currently work for the University of Florida women's basketball team, isn't that right?
I do. I'm a video assistant.
Okay. So, what would you like to talk about Goucher basketball? I know we've got. I know you've been following the coaching search for the women's head coaching position. Any thoughts on that? Or did you want to talk about men's basketball?
Did just get a new head coach.
We did.
I wanted to talk about the men's team.
All right. Well, we just had your boy Big Ed was on here a few minutes ago. Goucher legend.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the phone. I know you were listening.
I was busy finishing up this semester of schoolwork.
All right. Well, anyway, what would you like to talk about? Give us your thoughts.
No, I'm just curious to hear your thoughts of where you see the program going. Coach Rose has been there for a long time.
He just finished his second year.
I think.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years, not that much success. It's
a tough, it's a tough conference. People are good at basketball, but I think we just need to get some better recruits in here.
We need, it's recruiting. We need
the team is solid.
You
They have a lot of solid players. They had Jesse and Trey.
It's hard to win when all you have is a bunch of guards and one big.
Yeah, it's definitely because people are going to just tear you up in the paint.
Chris is going to drop a bunch of Chris is going to draw a bunch of fouls. And that's what happened this year. We got good players, and then also, it just comes down to, can we, they just had some issues in terms of getting it together at the end of games and adjusting. It's not like we're bad. We've got some of the pieces there. It's just
got to put them together.
Execution,
energy, and execution.
Like Russell Westbrook has said many times. We just need to execute better.
Just need to execute better. Just need to execute better.
So,
it's all about the execution.
Yeah.
Just gotta dig deep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We got just like the fans in the borough. So
gotta dig deep.
Yeah. Anything else, Kins, or?
No, just excited to be back on this radio show and talk some sports and just living life large.
There you go, Kins. We appreciate you calling. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and it's been fun having you on the show now for the second week in a row, and we look forward to having you next week. So you have a great rest of your night. Oh, would you like to give a shout out to anyone? I have a feeling you're going to give a shout out to one Fred Mallon.
All I have to say is go Gators.
Or Matt Deutsch. I know what you're thinking about them out there.
Go Gators.
Or Billy Donovan. I'm going to say go Canes. But
go Coach L.
I would say
Coach Larinaga.
I would say here we go UCF, but they're terrible at everything, so I can't.
Kins, you have a history with UCF as well. You was a manager there for a year.
I was a manager there for about a year and a half.
Yeah. So
I know the people over there very well. It's a rising program.
Yeah.
Had a very successful year.
Rising,
quote unquote.
Quote unquote rising.
Well, anyway, Kins, you have a great rest of your night, and thanks a lot for calling us. It's been great talking to you, buddy.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Go Beavers.
Gophers.
Here we go, Gophers.
Bye.
All right. So I think we got one last thing to do here is preview our match.
Goucher men's tennis.
Goucher men's tennis has a match tomorrow.
We do.
We do have quite a large match. We're playing Catholic tomorrow.
Catholic University of America.
Catholic University of Almerica.
Washington, D.C.
Yes.
At 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on out.
Come out if you can. Come out if you're in DC and you're bored and you want to watch some tennis. Some good tennis. You want to
watch this tree.
You want to watch some really good tennis.
Yeah.
You should come watch us eviscerate Catholic University of America.
So we got CUA tomorrow. Big
matchup.
Some high stakes tennis.
Get some W's under the belt.
BigWs.com.
Bigwins.com.
Indeed.
Catholic can't just roll over them. Okay. They have some decent talent. Top of the lineup, but
they're a very top-heavy team. But the thing is
bottom of the lineup.
it depends. Coach said before, and it's true, as we saw in particular 2 years ago, your freshman year, my sophomore year, with at the top of their lineup, guy just quit the match, and he said, and I quote, "I quit. That's it. I'm done." And to which Joe Kappa, who was playing one in that match, said, "Wait, what?" He's like, "I quit. I'm done."
And he was winning.
And Juan was up.
He was up a set, but down 3-0, and realized. I guess he realized he couldn't do it anymore. There's no way.
And I was like, there was no way. He realized that, and rather than stick it out,
he just quit. I just think he's mentally he's not there. He's a great player, just mentally
he could be a lot better if he
applied himself.
95% mental.
Exactly.
It is.
So
some high stakes tomorrow.
High stakes tomorrow.
The landmark conference standings.
I think it'll be good to finally get some wins under our belt. Get the confidence back up.
Big win against Drew definitely helped, and then
big win against
taking
Drew.
care of business against Stevenson.
Yeah, just really
after a rough outing,
start.
We
but
came out flat on Saturday.
Everyone sometimes has a rough start.
Everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one.
Thanks, Spider-Man.
Not any more than that.
Yeah. So we've got them tomorrow. We were supposed to play Juniata, our arch rivals. We were supposed to play them this past weekend. Got moved back a few weeks because of rain. So
back to the 28th. Another big weekend for us, though.
We're
playing 2 matches.
Wilkes.
The Juniata weekend is Wilkes. This coming weekend, Moravian and E-Town.
Yep.
2 easy W's for us. 2 rollers. Knock on the wood, but easy W's.
We'll go out and take care of business.
Get back on the bus and ride to the next school.
Get some food and go off.
Yeah. But then we got our last match of the season. Wilkes University. Homeboy.
Who, by the way, did not transfer to Clemson. Despite
my
you telling me that and thinking
my bad, guys.
You. It's all good. Hey, everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one. No,
right.
I think we have 5 matches left, and I think
we should go out and play against Wilkes.
We're gonna go out on top, and then we're gonna go to the NCAA tournament, and it's all gonna be great. And then I'm gonna come back here for the whole summer.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fantastic.
So
but anyways,
I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
I am too. It'll be great.
Looking forward to tomorrow.
Tomorrow's gonna be good.
Take care of business against the Catholic Cardinals, as they're called.
No love for them.
No, none whatsoever. So
well, this has been a great experience.
It's been a blast having you on the show,
awesome.
Britt.
This was super fun.
And hope we'll have
hopefully be on again
anytime.
Gladly, I'll come back anytime. This was awesome. All right.
So this is Jake and Chad in the Evening Radio Show.
But Britt.
tonight
it's
called
Britt.
Britt and Chad in the Evening.
Britt and Chad in the Evening.
And we hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of the night.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.